Hi everyone, Marian here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited to share this video for you guys because it is the first one in my summer series all about Shabbat. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys how my family celebrates Shabbat, different tips and tricks that we have, lots of recipes, how to do Shabbat with kids, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you're interested in learning more about Shabbat and how you can celebrate Shabbat with your family at home, then definitely hit the subscribe button down below and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any of them. So let's jump in. Today's video is all about how to make Shabbat happen. I put out a poll on my Instagram asking what you guys wanted to know about Shabbat, and the question I got asked most was how to just actually make Shabbat happen. When you live a busy life, you have people coming home at different times of the day, you have kids running around, and it's just really hard sometimes to actually just make it happen. In my perfect ideal world, everyone gets to take a shower or a bath, put on beautiful clothing, come sit down to a beautifully set table with a gorgeous, delicious meal. We do everything right. We light the candles before sunset and then eat this glorious meal and spend the whole evening just chatting together as a family. But in reality, that probably has never happened, maybe once. So I want to talk to you guys about how I actually make Shabbat happen in my home. The first thing I do is Shabbat candles. What I do to make this happen is I keep a large box of Shabbat candles that I purchased on Amazon. I'll link for you guys, the link down below, in my freezer. I keep them in my freezer because apparently they burn longer, apparently 2 times longer if you do that. I don't know, that's not important. The important thing is I buy them in bulk, keep them in my freezer so that every Friday night I have them right there ready to go. It's one thing I don't have to worry about. So as the sun sets, I just grab them out of the freezer, pop them in the candlesticks, and we light them. Now, in Orthodox Judaism, traditional Judaism, you need to light the Shabbat candles before the sun sets, and it's traditional to light it about 18 minutes before the actual sunset time. And there's an app, which is another tip I have for you guys. It's made by Chabad. It will tell you the exact time that you need to light the Shabbat candles every Friday night. You can put alert on your phone, etc. In my family, we're not that strict. The most important thing to me, the thing that's most meaningful, is that my family is there and that we're in the right mindset to celebrate the Shabbat and welcome in the Shabbat. So often we do it after sunset. So if you're the type of person that is not as concerned with the exact strict rule of exactly when things happen to be done, and you just want to create a meaningful Shabbat experience in your home, then you can do what I do, which is just light the candles before you eat dinner on Friday night, because most likely that's when everyone's gathered together. Their mindset is in the right place about thinking about family time, and you're just ready to kind of welcome Shabbat in. The second tip I have for you is music. I have a Shabbat playlist on my phone, and I listen to it every Friday in the car with my sons, and I also play it on Friday afternoons when I'm cooking dinner or we're just, playing about the house. It really helps set the tone for Shabbat. It makes the day feel special and different from all the other days of the week, and it gets everyone excited for Shabbat. So because we're singing about lighting the Shabbat candles with my kids, etc., it just kind of gets us excited to do so. But they're not all kids songs by any means, and they get me excited to do it as well. It just makes me feel more meaningful and spiritual and just like gets me in the mood too. By the way, I will have a video coming up in this series about Shabbat with kids, so again, don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss that one. The third tip I have for you guys is to prep ahead. So I often on a Thursday night will take out everything I need for Shabbat, which is not that much. Candlesticks, my Challah Board and challah cover, and my Kiddush Cup. That's it, just those main 3 things. And I'll make sure I just have them out and handy and ready to go. That way on Friday, if things get busy or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, just these 4 things, they're ready to go. Here they are on the table. Speaking of stocking up, I also have a big bottle of grape juice in my fridge at all times, and I also have extra wine that we just keep, so that is another part of the Shabbat that I need. I always just have it and don't have to worry about it. My next tip is about challah. That is one thing that sometimes I feel is the hardest thing for Shabbat, because I often don't have a challah and I feel like I can't celebrate Shabbat without a challah. So my tip for you is, number 1, just buy it at the grocery store. This is hard if you do your grocery shopping on like a Sunday, because then it won't be fresh, but if you do it later in the week and the challah is there, buy it and you're good to go. You can also freeze them very easily, so buy 2, put 1 in the freezer, etc. You're good to go. They also sell frozen challahs, not just the challah dough, but like braided, ready to go. Pop that in the freezer, you're good to go. The only problem with those, I will warn you, is that you still have to thaw them for a good few hours, so if you don't think about it Friday morning, you'll be stuck. However, it's really important to know that actually you can say the prayer for the challah on any type of bread. It does not have to be a braided something from the grocery store labeled challah on it. It just needs to be made out of grain, flour, etc., and has to be bread. So you can't say it over a cupcake or a salad, but you can say the prayer over bread. So if you don't have time to get a challah, just put a piece of bread under the challah plate and you're good to go. The next tip I have is to save your something special for Friday night. So growing up, my dad used to always stop at the bakery on his way home from work and pick up a challah and cupcakes. Now, I remember the challah being good, but the cupcakes was the most exciting part as a little girl. They always had those toppers that like went on your finger like a ring, and it was really exciting to see what the cupcake topper was gonna be. And of course, it was super special to have cupcakes from the bakery on a Friday night for dessert. So that's just something super special that I had growing up, but there's tons of ways that you can create the same sort of thing. If there's a special dessert, save it for Friday night. If there's a special dinner that your family loves, make that one on Friday night. Or if you really can't hack it and you just want to order takeout for Friday night, that's fine too, but maybe afterwards, if there's a special game that your family likes to all play it on a Friday night. Maybe it's even just going on an evening walk as a family. Anything that works for you guys can honor the Shabbat, so save it for Friday nights and make the Shabbat holier for your family. Another thing that we like to do is put flowers on our table for Shabbat. How often are you eating by candlelight and flowers? If you're like me and have a toddler and a newborn at home, probably not that often, but it's really not too hard for us to grab some flowers from the backyard. Maybe it's not even really flowers, more like greenery, depending on the season. Pop it in a vase and you're good to go. It makes the table feel so much more special and beautiful. On that note, I always make sure our dining room table is cleaned off for Shabbat, even if that means just taking all that clutter and moving it from the dining room table to our kitchen island. At least the table feels different, special, and clean for Shabbat, which is another important thing. Finally, my last tip is to just not get so caught up in what is the perfect, most important, right way to do something. For me, I think the most important thing is lighting the candles and doing that together as a family, or just doing them on your own before your family comes home. If Shabbat is important to you and you want to try to have it more often on a Friday night and you're really struggling with that, I would say relax your concept of what Shabbat means to you. Sometimes maybe it's just lighting the candles. Sometimes maybe it's just having a fancy dessert and saying Shabbat Shalom to your family. To me, the most important thing is that it's something special, meaningful, and happy for you, not something that causes stress and anxiety. So that's it. Those are my top tips for making Shabbat happen in your home. I hope that they have helped you. If they did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the rest of the videos in my summer series on Shabbat. I'll see you next time. Bye!